Woo-wee. How is it? Time since I've done one of these. Welcome to my secret world, number 14. That's right, I haven't done a proper welcome to my secret world since before Europe anyway. I did a couple of live broadcasts while I was over there. I think in Germany and maybe in a traffic jam or something like that. I can't remember. Fixing the clav. Well, that's a pretty common video, that one. In fact, I'm going to be doing a lot of that tomorrow. How are you going? What's been happening? There's a few people joining already. Hey, Pat. Hey, Greg. Ethel. Jonathan, how you going? So I'm doing this to Facebook and YouTube this time because it's going to be a fairly big one, a bit of a catch up on Europe and my holiday in Hawaii with my family and what's also coming up, like Canada. And also, I'm going to be playing with Wolfmother in Europe. So on the back of Canada, there's one more festival I've got to do called Pier Blues Festival in Belgium. And then straight after that, it's just been perfect timing that I'm going to play a European tour with Wolfmother, which I can't wait because, you know, I've always loved that band and they're Australian and they've got, you know, it's organ drenched as well. So I can't go wrong. Woo! Alrighty. So where do I start? Well, this is, as always, kind of like a little video that I do to try and let you guys know what's going on and let you guys come up with any ideas or any crazy suggestions that you might think would be good for me to do, or basically whatever, really. Just a bit of an excuse to get in front of the camera and have a bit of a yarn. Hey, look at you all. Montreal awaits me. Cheers, Sandy. I can't wait. Yes, it will be brilliant. Hello, Yurik from Russia. Woo! I'd love to get to Russia one day. So basically, the Europe tour was incredible. Was just beyond what I expected. A huge step up even from last year, and last year was out of control. So this was kind of short, this leg. We are going to be going back to Europe again, probably a couple of times this year. But we started off in Germany, in Wormerskirchen, a great little club that we did last year. There's some footage actually already up of that, and from last year there was a couple of great clips that were done, like that version of Only Cure for the Blues. We did that there last year, so it was great to return there. Awesome community of music lovers. So it was a great place to start the tour, and it was a big, it was a small room, but a big 2-set gig, and I got to use the real A100 on that gig, which was a treat. Like, it's an absolute beauty. I remember I gave it a bit of a tweak last year, and it's firing. But yes, that's right. I broke a key. That's right. First gig of the tour, and using a Hammond that's not even mine, and I broke a key. It was very embarrassing. You're probably shaking your head. Of course you broke a key because you've seen the way I play. But quite honestly, that doesn't happen very often at all. It hasn't happened to my organ. Touch wood. I haven't broken a key on my organ yet. I've broken it. I remember years and years ago, I broke a key on the organ at the basement in Sydney, and that was pretty bad. But so hey, I guess it happens. I think I was speaking to him before, and he's managed to get it fixed pretty easily. And phew. So that was the fun. That actually made it quite hard to play. I got to say, it was a little bit off-putting when the key broke, because it was right up in that sort of top, was it second to top octave in on the Hammond on the top manual. So it was a bit of a pain, but you got to deal with that stuff from time to time. So the next gig was the Grosh Blues Festival. That was the one that, if you're watching anything on social media, was, oh man, wow, awesome festival. Don't get me wrong, beautiful setting, great production, everything. And we got there early, and I tested the Hammond that they organised for me, and it sounded amazing. And it sounded amazing with the band that was on before me as well, and I was absolutely, I was through. I was really excited to basically get on stage because I knew how good the Hammond sounded. And then straight up, like we started with Stop Listening to the Blues, playing away, and then within like 8 bars, and it was just like this. You couldn't hear anything, like, but it was like a bang on my hand, and it was like my hand just got repelled from the organ, and it was just the pain and like the snap of it, and it's really hard to describe. Um, yeah, but it absolutely freaked me out. And then I touched it again, bang, same thing again. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Like, I just really don't know what to do. I don't want to touch it again in case it happens again, and who it could be if everyone aware of what was going on. And then I thought, all right, I'll jump on the clav and play the clav for a song, while hopefully they can sort out what's going on. So I jumped on the clav and we did. Kind of at the end of Use Me, they were sort of giving me the okay. So normally I jump to the organ at the end of Use Me, and so I did that again because they were like, yeah, that's fine. I get, you know. Sure enough, I went straight over to the organ. Bam! First thing I touched, bang! Again, and I was like, oh, all right, that's not gonna happen. So I finished the song on the clav, and then basically just made an announcement that we're going to have to stop for a while. And it was just really lucky that we had the Hammond XK5 in the van. So while all that stuff was going down, Martin and my roadies, Volta and Jim, already kind of was sus to the idea that maybe we're going to need to get that out. So that actually, we managed to get that out of the van and get that on stage with my Leslie. So my whole rig that I hadn't even checked yet, I hadn't even tested it. And it basically just got a sound straight away. Like it definitely wasn't my best Hammond sound that I've ever had, but it worked, and it was going, and I could distort it a little bit, and we got through the gig. But it really did throw me. Yeah, I don't think I really quite recovered from how that gig started off, and yeah, and I could sort of feel it a little bit in my hand for the whole gig as well. And yeah, it was a weird one. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys in any way. You've ever had electric shocks like that, but yeah, I'm not sure what they actually did with the organ after that, because I know Lucky Peterson was due to play it the next night, and they must have got it looked over and hopefully found out what happened, and either that or they got something else. But yeah, I want to find out about that actually. Find out what that actually was. I've spoken to a couple of people and they've got various ideas of how that might have happened, but yeah, a bit scary. Anyway, that was the second gig. Yeah, what did we do after that? We went to the old diary. Yeah. What did we do after that? Hang on, bear with me a second. Just looking at the past gigs. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, I can't see anything because I've got all these cameras in the way. Oh, now I'm on last year. Sorry about this. It's very annoying. Is that working? Oh yeah, here we go. Cool. Yeah. So after that, oh yeah, we went to Ribs and Blues, of course. Ribs and Blues in Ralte in the Netherlands. That was sick. So yeah, I finally had a chance to get the organ rig going, and that was the other thing that I realised on in Germany, was that the bottom rotor of my Leslie 860 wasn't spinning. So during the day at Ribs and Blues, like we got there pretty early, I pulled the Leslie out and the XK5 into the band room, into our little cubicle, portable band room, and I pulled apart the 860, which is a really tricky Leslie to work on, and basically one of the wing nuts of the motor had come loose, and therefore the band the rope. What do you call it? Uh, Basically, that pulley system, that rope had come off because it had loosened and the motor had moved forward, and that was just so hard to get back on. And like without having to like take out the speaker and take out the motor and just everything in the amp, I somehow managed to do it amazingly. Anyway, it took a long time, but yeah, luckily I had that time to get it ready, and I managed to pull a sound that I was happy with the XK5 too. So yeah, so we had a great gig at Ribs and Blues, awesome festival, really similar kind of setup to Boss Pop, but probably a bit more of a sort of party vibe, I suppose. Uh, Boss Pop's like a real rock festival, and Ribs and Blues is a sort of like a big kind of meet up, and just really really cool though, great crowd, and had so much fun there. Yeah, so that was the third gig, and yeah, so it was all it started off pretty strangely, with quite eventful, but after that it all sort of settled down, and then we without too many more dramas. But having said that, there were so many dramas last year. Oh my goodness, I can't even count how many there were. So it just makes for good stories, right? Yeah, so next after that, I think, was Berlin. We took a bit of a punt and put on a show in Berlin. Never been there before. Well, never played there as the Locky Dolly group. And yeah, we had an awesome gig at the Quasimodo. What a great little place to play. Yeah, everyone had told me about it and said it was an awesome place, and sure enough, it was absolutely killer. Just a kind of like a little jazz bar, and obviously we were probably one of the louder acts that they have there, but that's all right. Especially with Jackie on the drums, we yeah. It's funny that we can, some people still call us jazz, even though I don't think we're jazz at all. I think when they hear organ trio, I think a lot of people just instantly think jazz, but no, we ain't jazz. Yeah, so the Quasimodo, that was great. Lots of organ players in the audience from that one, and yeah, so it was great to meet. It was just one of those intimate ones, so I got to meet everyone and talk to everyone. So that was a real thrill. And then we moved on to the Red Horn District. Great, awesome gig that we did that one last year. And then first time in Switzerland, where we played at Kulterhof Schloss Königs. I don't know if you've been to Switzerland, but it's up near Bern. And man, it just so happened that Kirk Fletcher, well, he's moved to Switzerland. Awesome guitar player from the US. So he was around, and we asked him if he wanted to hop in the car and come along and have a play with us, and he did. So there's a bit of footage of that online too, if you want to go and find that. But so that was another really special moment, being able to play with Kirk. He's a lovely guy, killer guitar player, and yeah, I hope we get to do a little bit more work with him in the future. I'm sure we will. I've worked with him with Mahalia as well on the last album, and we're actually launching that album this Friday at the Camelot in Sydney. So if you're around in Sydney, it's Mahalia Barnes and the Soulmates at the Camelot Lounge, and it's the album that got released a few months ago, but this is the official album launch. So hopefully I'll see you there with Kirk on that album. And so it's great to be on the other side of the world and be able to play with him in Switzerland. Yeah, that was another great gig, another great community of music-loving people, and I think there were maybe just under 100 people there, or about 100 people, but it was like the most merch sold on the entire thing. It was like every single person bought an album, if not 3 or 4. Yeah, so that was amazing, really, really incredible, and so was the next night, Restaurant Iron Truck. Another just a great turnout, great response. Yeah, 2 of my favourite gigs on the tour were the ones in Switzerland, and yeah, I think it's going to be the start of something good there. Yeah. And so we went back to the Netherlands to do it was our only club show in the Netherlands. It was at Devorsten in Hilversum, which I've done it before, but I've never done a real gig, and that was great because man, I've just up such a great following in the Netherlands, and so many friends as well, and so many of them came along, and yeah, it was just a really great night. Another great room. There's so many great venues in the Netherlands. They've really got it together there. Great production. They're all clean. Everything works. Great lighting. Great sound. Yeah. So yeah, that was a great way to sort of finish off before I headed off to Hawaii. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys saw any of that. All the photos. I was definitely posting like mad over there. It was great. It was in Hawaii. Apparently, the flight over was, it was a little. No, she still had her hair in by the time they got there, so that was good. And then, yeah, we just basically ate, swam, relaxed, read, paddleboards, walked around. There's so many swimming pools where we were staying. There's incredible swimming pools with like water slides. So Dashi was just losing his mind swimming around there. It really was, it really was just great to be able to have the family over there with me and just not have to think about music or gigs for a week and a bit and just enjoy being a family and hanging out and I mean, it's great being home here as well, but being over there was just something super special. And yeah, I won't forget that in a hurry. Now I just got to work out the next one. Yeah, so that was Hawaii, and then I had another 36 hours of travel or something to go from Hawaii to Poland, Gdansk in Poland. Yeah, it was like 4 flights. It was Honolulu to LA to London, London to Amsterdam, where I picked up the clav and all my other stuff, and then Amsterdam to Gdansk, and then another hour and a half travel to get to basically Swieci, which was where the festival was, or just outside of Swieci. We stayed in Hemlo, I think it was Hemlo. Yeah. And that was Poland, and I was expecting it to be like freezing, but it was warm. It was really warm and sunny, and yeah, this town where we were staying is this great old medieval town. So we walked around that all day and went to a museum and saw kind of like the history of the town there. And it was it's the town that I think it's Copernicus, the famous navigator. That's where he was from and did a lot of work. Yeah, so that was really interesting. And yeah, we rehearsed with a big orchestra that day as well for the festival the next day. And also got to meet Frank McComb, who's an incredible keyboard player and singer. Absolutely amazing. So he was doing like My Sherry Amore and Ain't No River High Enough, I think. And I decided, because it was a it was a tribute to Motown, this kind of thing that we were doing with the orchestra. I did my own show as well, but yeah, we were asked to do two songs with the orchestra for this Motown tribute, and I chose to do Heard It Through the Grapevine and also Shotgun, because I'd done Heard It Through the Grapevine before, and it's just such an awesome song. And then Shotgun, which I hadn't done before, but it's one of those songs I've always wanted to do. It's got the big organ stabs, the bam bam. So doing that with the horn section as well was fierce. It was wild. It's just a whole extra level being able to play with an orchestra. Like just the sound those horns can make. Man, it's killer. I mean, even doing Broadbeach last year with 4 horns was awesome, but there were like 8 horns and 8 strings. 3 guitar players, bass player, drummer, percussionist, and then me doing my madness. So it was pretty fun. Very fun. What are you guys saying over here? Oh, Chris saying that he got zapped from a microphone. Yeah, yeah, I know that feeling too. That sort of, that makes sense to me. Like the microphone, and I don't know, I'm making some sort of loop and it zapping on your mouth, that kind of thing. But the fact it was zapping on my hands was just so weird. Like, I don't know. And when I went to the microphone, it didn't do it then. It was, yeah, that was a weird one. You're watching my concert from 2015 at Daventry. That was my first Europe tour. That was hilarious. Oh, that's with Casper and Derek playing. Yeah, that was a fun little tour. Oh man, that's cool that you're watching that. Jeez, I have to go and check that out myself. That must be a bit. I think the show's a bit different now. um, awesome. So yeah, that was Poland, and now I'm back home. It was another stupidly big flight to get home, and managed to recoup for a while, and then we're off to Melbourne or Victoria, and we did Bundy Hall on Saturday, which was sick, an old school like regional Australian hall where they would have put on little balls once upon a time and had various meetings, and now they're putting on these awesome like rock gigs or whatever gigs, and yeah, they fully decked it out, put a massive PA in there, and yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. And had Danny Spencer up to guest on that, who plays guitar in Jimmy Barnes's band. We basically started playing with Jimmy at the same time back in 2001, I think it was. Yeah, long time ago. So that was really cool. And then the next night, Northcote Social Club, which we did last year as well, which is just such a good gig. But on the drive back the drive from Bundy to Melbourne, my tooth. I've had a lot of problems with my teeth, a lot of problems with my wisdom teeth, and I still haven't got them out. And I had this toothache that was just murdering me during the day, and kind of got better. And then I had Panadol and Nurofen and all that stuff, and then we had lunch, and then it flared up again, and I was like, oh. Then I chilled out, and then, but basically, as soon as when Danny went on stage, so about an hour and a half before we were due to go on stage, it caned me, and like I was in the band room with Jackie, and he had some friends there, and it just got so painful that I took too many like painkillers. I took like 2 lots of Panadol and 2 lots of Nurofen. So my tummy was then starting to hurt as well. My tooth was killing me. I was just huddled up in like a ball on the couch, and I seriously thought, man, I just didn't actually know how I was going to do that gig. And then I just sort of waited out, and then I was swallowing kind of warm water. I just didn't really want anything to touch my tooth, and it kind of got better just like 10 minutes before we were due to go on. So yeah, no one in the audience probably knows, but that show almost just never happened. I was in that much pain, and it's been on and off ever since. So I'm going to the dentist tomorrow to get this tooth pulled out. I've actually got to get 6 teeth taken out. I've got to get my wisdom teeth and my 2 back molars because they're both destroyed, and that's one of them that is now on this one. So this one doesn't hurt, but this one is just getting feels like it's about to split in half from my wisdom teeth. So yeah, I'm going to get that one pulled out because there's no time to get all 6 taken out, and I've got to at least get this one out because I've got to fly to Canada on Tuesday. So yeah, there's just no time to get all that work done, unfortunately. So I'm just going to rip it out and deal with not having a back molar for this whole Canada and Europe tour. Yeah, but Canada's going to be unreal, as long as my tooth isn't killing me. Yeah, man, we got big gigs. So like Montreal Jazz Fest, RBC Ottawa Blues Fest, the Tremblant Blues Festival, and then club gigs in Quebec, and playing Peter's Player, a few others. I can't think of the other names at the moment, but Yeah, it is. Oh, man, I'm really excited to be playing these festivals. Um, they're a really big deal to me, I reckon, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. If we get the response that we've been getting at other festivals that we've played, I think it could be, yeah, really good for us. And the one festival we managed to play at its entirety in Canada last year was the Donnacona Blues Festival, and that just was epic. That was another one of those selling out of merch kind of things, not bringing enough. So that reminds me, I've got to get some merch made up quickly. Yes, all right. I'll do that as soon as I finish this. um, yeah, so Canada is going to be absolutely off the chart. Uh, we've got Jackie again flying over, and CP's flying over from London, so it's going to be the same band as last year, and the same band as in Europe. So that's going to be pretty epic, and man, we'll just see what happens. Yeah, and then after that we fly back to Europe for Blues Pier in Belgium, and then yeah, like I was saying before, and I start playing with Wolfmother for a week, or 2 weeks, I think it is. So there's like 6 or 7 festivals, or 6 festivals and a couple of club shows in the Netherlands, something like that. So we're doing Milkvig and another one called Tilburg in the Netherlands, and then there's a whole bunch of festivals. I can see any of the names here. Uh, Blue Balls Festival, far out. Some in Germany, Deitrand, Malakoff. Yeah, so there's a bunch there anyway. And yeah, and then we'll see what happens after that. And hopefully I'll be able to come home and get some rest. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you any longer because this has been a very, very long one. In fact, it's almost half an hour. So, man, if you managed to make it to the end, then thank you so very, very much. I'm going to look at all these comments and reply to you guys as I usually do. And awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in and hearing my crazy ramblings of what's been going on. It really has been a pretty epic month, and another epic month coming up. So I'll talk to you again soon. Awesome. See you guys. How do I end YouTube? Maybe this one.